And so I'll show that with my test app. I have a test app that I use for when I'm doing client work, and I'll show that so they can understand how to set it up and what it means. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think the Facebook integration is like simultaneously less complicated than people think, and then at the same time more complicated, particularly when it comes to Facebook and their arcane rules. And I mean, when I was working on social poetry, that was when they did Graph 2.0 came out, and it was just like everything changed, and it was really frustrating.
Yeah, Facebook has
graph library. It's
Facebook doesn't have any qualms about changing things.
For me, it was confusing when I had to integrate Facebook into an Android application, and you had to submit hash of the key.
I was remember that. Say that too. Are you going to go over key hashes, because that's a nightmare.
Oh God! And then their approval process. You have an approval process with them before you get to your approval process.
Yeah, right. That's annoying.
Really annoying.
So there you go. We have opened Pandora's box.
That's why when you said, well, what are you going to cover? I'm like, okay, we're just doing the basics this time.
All right. Well, let's kick off today's show, and then we'll cover we'll let everybody else in on what we're talking about.
Oh, are we live right now?
Yeah, we're live right now. I just went ahead and hit the button, and we were having such a great conversation.
Great. You show me eating food, stuffing it in my mouth.
I know it. Yeah, that's the real. This is reality TV. So, all right, guys. Well, welcome back to Corona Geek, here where we talk all about mobile app development using Corona SDK. I'm your host, Charles McKeever, and we're a full house today, and we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, as you can tell. We were just sitting here talking about what is it that we're going to talk about next week. That's kind of what we do around here. Is we think about the future. So next week we're going to be talking about social plugins. We're going to start down the road of looking at how to implement the social plugin. Then we'll eventually get into Facebook and stuff like that. And we're also going to continue our conversation around shaders. So we've got a good thing going there. We've got with us, Stephen Johnson, who is well versed in this stuff, so we just want to pick his brain as much as we can and get as much information as we can get out of him. Just wring him dry every drop. That's what we're trying to do. That's the goal. So we're going to do that. But today we're going to talk about Jason Schroeder's new Twitter plugin that is up on the plugin store. I don't know, and I'm going to ask that question. All the plugins on the plugin store are free right now, but eventually there will be opportunities for them to be paid plugins. But Jason has made his available now as a free plugin, and we're going to take a look at that and see how it works and some of the concepts around that. And then we're going to dive into shaders, and Jason, Stephen is going to take us through some shader stuff. So thanks everybody for joining us. We got Dr. Brian Burton from Abilene down there in the status bar. So thanks, Dr. Burton.
Oh.
Hello. I don't know what I was going to say there. I'm sorry. It's one of those days where I've got 6 different things I want to say. Yeah. So burtonsmediagroup.com is one of the things I'll say. Definitely go check that out. Lots of resources over there.
And I do want to say we're getting lots of orders for high schools and colleges and universities looking for textbooks on mobile app development. So if you're looking for something, or you'd like to see your students or your child's school start teaching mobile app development, send them our way. We'll be happy to help.
Am I correct in understanding that if someone places an order for $1 million or more, you'll give them a discount or something?
I'll probably even come and teach a class there.
You will fly out to where they are?
I will fly out to wherever they're at, as long as it's a safe place to arrive in.
Okay, all right. Well, you heard it here first, folks. Also joining us is Ed Marina from roaminggamer.com, who you can't see his face right now because he's screen sharing with us, but he's there, and he's got lots of great resources at his site. Also Jason from jasonschroeder.com, who is going to be talking about his Twitter plugin. We've got Kevin from seedburngames.com. Is it seedburngames.com or .co or .uk?
No, .com. Yeah.
.com. Okay. And also we've got Sergey Lurg from Spiral Code Studio, and then Stephen Johnson from say it, Stephen.
Ibalba.
Ibalba? Shibalba?
It's a word from the Mayans.
Oh, is it? See, I knew it had. See, I know you know Latin and all that kind of stuff like that. So you got like You get a full.
That's an
I
exaggeration.
heard this word from one anime.
Exaggeration. What's that?
It's
I
an
heard this
Eldorado.
word from one anime, and I don't remember which one was it.
Eldorado, Disney movie.
Okay.
Well, we'll have a link in the show notes. You can go check it out. They got a lot of great stuff over there. They're doing some great work, and of course Steven is a whiz at the shader conversation. So you can expect good things from them over there. So go check that out. All right, so let's get into it. I don't want to blah 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 too much. We've got a lot of stuff to cover, and Jason, I want to get right into your Twitter plugin.
Right on.
First of all, why? Why?
Well, here, I'm gonna start to screen share here. If let's see if that works. Are you guys seeing a web page right now?
We're seeing your desktop. We're seeing
devtwitter.com.
Okay, great. Good. Okay. So it started with one of those projects that has been backburnered for me, and maybe one day I'll release it. But I came up with a concept a little while ago that I wanted to. I became fascinated with the concept of the Screenshot Saturday hashtag. Where people put up screenshots on Saturday of their games in process. And so I came up with a quick little app that pulls those images down and displays them. Now this is sort of a rough prototype that, so if I click here, it's going to populate with, a whole bunch of screenshots. If you click it, it shows it, and it shows the tweet that was associated with it at the bottom. You can't do multi-touch in the simulator, but it supports pinching and zooming. And eventually I wanted to be able to, follow somebody if you like it. So if you throw things off to the side, it'll load up a fresh one. And I wanted to be able to do that, so I started looking into the Twitter API and how I could do a search and return those results and look for things that, A, had that hashtag, and B, had an image attached. And so, like I do with most of my code, I started sort of modularizing it. That started as sort of an inelegant module that was sort of spaghetti. And a little bit ago, I thought, I should revisit that. Maybe I should make that a new module I can release to the community, see what we can do with that. And then, I don't know, it was maybe a month ago, there was a blog post on the Corona blog about doing pure Lua plugins. Now I have an enterprise license, but because I got an upgrade when Corona went free, but I have not done much enterprise development, so I really sort of shied away from the whole plugin thing. And then I saw that blog post, and I said, "Wow, that's kind of great. I could do this as a plugin." And so over the span of a couple of weeks, sort of on the back burner, I started tinkering and trying to make it work and come up with a set of APIs and functions that could hopefully make the process a little bit easy for people.
I find it interesting. There's there's developers who are interested in just doing the apps,
mm-hmm.
but the people on this panel are
crazy people like me who get sidetracked on something.
Yeah, I find it interesting that you've got yourself, Sergey's put stuff out. I know Steven's sharing all his his knowledge with the community. We've got Ed, doing libraries and stuff. It's almost like well, I could create an app, or I could just create this tool that helps everybody else create their apps. I mean, it's just funny. I don't know.
Just a quick survey of the people who are here. Is this worth me finishing? Do you think there'd be an audience for this? This little Screenshot Saturday app.
What you're showing right now, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
it definitely gives Twitter a different spin, right?
Yeah, I mean, because there's a Screenshot Saturday website that you can go to already that sort of does the same thing, and it displays all the images. But I thought, this is kind of fun, and you can sort of toss them around, and maybe keep your favorites, follow the people whose work you like, retweet if you like, things like that.
I mean, what you're showing right now,
mm-hmm.
I could see you could release that as an app, first of all, if that's what you're asking. And then two, I would think that people would definitely be interested in giving you $1 or $2. And I don't mean $1 or $2, but some number of dollars to see how the whole thing works, because that would be right up a lot of people's alley as far as things that they want to do with their apps. That's what I mean, the questions that I see in the forums,
yeah,
a lot of them are like, how do I do this thing? And you're doing it.
Yeah, I see multiple things. One is you're pulling in content from a feed, or a quote unquote, it may be an API, and then you're that information is being represented as objects on the screen, right? So it's you're able to interact with those and move those around. So there's all these different pieces that are definitely of interest, and you're showing it on an iPad, but I could also see that on an Android TV. Or something like that, where you've got it up on the screen, right? And it's just sort of, especially if it sort of refreshed itself automatically and things. That would be cool.
Maybe I'll revisit it. I mean, like I said, it's functional, but like anything, it's the final details that before you release something, you want to get it nice and polished, and it's all the little things. But maybe I'll do that because it is. And I will say this was up until this morning still running on my old sort of spaghetti code module, which sort of became the basis for the plugin, but I modified it to run on the plugin in a half hour. So I developed the plugin, so of course it all makes sense to me. I go, oh, this is perfectly self-explanatory. But anyway, we should get into that a little bit. So that was the impetus for it.
Yeah. And I could see you doing like, sorry, I could see like the background there. I don't know, you have like graph paper or whatever, but it could always be just randomly one of the images, blurred maybe, one of the images that's already.
That's kind of cool. Yeah. So I mean, the start screen here, because I'm an NES fan, I sort of did this, and then this is on a rotating. I think every 5 or 6 seconds, it sort of rotates in, it grabs an image and sort of swaps it out, which might be fun for some developer out there to see a screenshot from their game on an NES cart. I don't know. Anyway, so that was the impetus for it. That was how it got started.
Those are the in-app purchases. Those are the buy the pack of whatever the image is, right? With
I did sort of think, I imagine it being a free app with like maybe an attaboy level in-app purchase. If you're a developer and you like this and you want to throw some shekels my way, you can do that. I also saw it be the sort of the part of me said, maybe I can give priority to your tweet.
Sponsored, yeah, sponsored.
To your tweets if you do this. I don't know. That might be a little more overhead, a little more work than I would want. It's also potentially slimy, but but it was a thought I had.
I don't think there's anything slimy about that. You gotta not do that. I used to say that, and you don't do it because you did a lot of work, so you should get some profits.
It's true. So anyway, that was how it got started, and then I said about, okay, somebody hashtag.
Okay.
Either they've got a very interesting game, or they're wanted to get in my app. Anyway, so that was how it got started, and then I set about the task of making a plugin.